My grandfather's from Iran.
My grandparents are from Spain and Bolivia.
They came from Ethiopia.
Japan and Colombia.
My grandparents are from Ethiopia, where I live, where I came from. Well, now I'm here in this beautiful country of America.
My grandparents are from Guatemala.
My grandparents are from the USA.
El Salvador. My grandparents are from El Salvador.
Well, my grandparents are from Brazil and El Salvador.
My grandparents were from Iowa and Kentucky.
Europe and Asia and the United States.
Grandparents are from Eritrea. My grandparents are from Virginia and North Carolina.
My grandparents are from Arkansas, Fort Smith, America, and have roots in Ireland and also come from Fiji.
My grandparents are from Hungary, Germany, Japan, and my dad's birth father is from Korea.
Well, my dad's parents are from Bolivia, and my mom's parents are from Iowa. My grandparents are from Nepal. My grandparents are from New York and Ohio.
My grandparents are from El Salvador.
From Detroit.
My grandparents are from Germany. My dad's parents are from Japan. My grandparents are from Egypt. My grandparents are from Italy and Russia and Poland.
El Salvador.
Germany and America.
My grandparents are from Brooklyn, New York. My grandparents are from El Salvador.
Brazilian comics. That's how my mom learned how to read. So she used to get Brazilian comics and she passed on her collection to me. And that's how I learned to read in Portuguese.
To celebrate last night, every year we have kebabs and pistachios, which are his two favorite foods. So
my mom has taught me how to make spaghetti sauce. Yeah, they cook rice and potatoes and chicken.
It's a tradition in my mom's family where on Fridays for lunch you only eat fish, and you're not allowed to eat meat on Fridays, but you're allowed to eat other stuff. But the main dish has to be fish.
We eat a dish called salteñas. Mostly, he doesn't really cook things from El Salvador, but sometimes he just buys pupusas.
Well, as a kid, my dad really enjoyed making his own kites, and he taught me that last year. So we both made a kite, and I flew it out on my street and started running around, and the kite was flying.
Pfannkuchen is like German pancakes. They're a little thinner than real pancakes from America, and they're filled with sugar and cinnamon.
Whenever it's someone's birthday and they have the birthday cake, you take the icing from the birthday cake and you put it on their face. And I do it to my friends all the time. Yeah. Yeah, but I get paid back. So you should see my face on my birthday.
She makes eggs with sausage, and then the sausage she put it over it, and then there's eggs and sausage together, and it tastes so good.
My mom and dad make pupusas. They used to have a restaurant in El Salvador.
Eat turkey with my family.
On my dad's side of the family, there were lots of great musicians. My grandfather had a great voice and was a great pianist, and my aunt was also a great pianist, although she had to come to the decision where she had to decide if she wanted to make sacrifices to become a professional musician, and she turned it down. And my dad plays guitar, and he introduced me to music, so I started playing violin when I was 4.
My parents cooked this food called chochito, tamal de arroz with rice and tortillas.
well, we go to the Ethiopian store, and then we get the injera, and then I don't know how you make the wet, but then we make it, and then we just sit down at the dining table and eat.
Yes, schnitzel. Well, other people eat it, but it's sort of German, so. On Christmas Eve for dessert, we have chocolate mousse.
My mom, when she was a kid, she loved to build forts in the forest behind her house. And there's a small creek that she would catch slimy creatures. So when I visit, I like to build forts behind my grandmother's house and catch some slimy creatures.
My mom's dad used to sing this really funny song, and he used to put it on the radio all the time. And so just recently we found the tape, and we've been listening to it in the car. It's called the Unicorn Song. I don't really remember all the lines, but it's kind of about like Noah's Ark and like all the animals, and how the unicorns were the most favored, and how we don't see any more unicorns anymore because they didn't listen and go on the ark.
Well, my mom taught me how to dance Fijian songs and how to sing them. Me muri chiso and ambulanganga. Mesa singa taka se sambo imbuta. Damba masa sira sambu mesa lakanga. When we are chisu muri kayanga.
Okay, so he was an emergency room doctor. So one time he was going to the supermarket when a policeman pulled him over for speeding. When the policeman was about to give him a ticket, he told the policeman that he was going to see an emergency patient. He did not get a ticket, and as the story goes, he got a police escort to the emergency room.
My grandmother taught high school, and her house was a tutoring place. She had more than 200 students.
When my mom was a kid, her dad had just gotten out of college, and they didn't have a lot of money, and he got a job offer in New Hampshire, and they all made. My mom and her brother and sister all made fun of that place because they'd never been there, and they're like, "Where in the world is New Hampshire?"
There's an ocean that's called Red Sea, and then they want that because I don't know, and then they want to, and they said that they want to fight in there for war, and then that they want to fight in there, and then so they fight for 30 years, but still people die and to get that freedom for our country.
Well, when he was 9 years old, he came to the United States to escape a war in El Salvador. He traveled for weeks until he actually got to Los Angeles. The people in the USA actually let him stay because they knew he was a refugee and it wasn't safe for him to go back. And he's now a United States citizen.
When they left me when I was 1 year old, I think they came in bus because we didn't have much money. We were very poor over there.
Okay, they left you there when you were one?
One.
Okay, and then how did you get here?
I came in bus with my favorite aunt.
My dad went to the rainforest once when he was like 11, 12, or 13. He went with his mother and father and said he was like out there for 2 weeks, and he said it was like the hardest part was basically even surviving. You had to bring your own food, so if you ran out of food. So, and he told me he slept in like this tent without any screening, and he told me he didn't even wear a mosquito net, so the mosquitoes were like fierce, and with all the noise, like from animals and insects, like crickets, other animals. He said it was like really hard falling asleep, but he had a busy day, so at the end of every day, you have to eventually fall asleep.
So my grandmother was about to have her 6th baby. My Uncle Paulo. He was about to be born, so my grandfather sent my uncle, who was about 10, my age at that time, to get a doctor to help. So he went outside, walking slowly, when he saw a group of his friends playing soccer. So he went to play soccer. Maybe a couple minutes wouldn't make a difference. And he ended up forgetting about the doctor. So he went back home. He didn't know anything about the doctor. And my grandfather had Uncle Paulo wrapped in a blanket. And he asked, "Where's the doctor?" So my grandfather had to be a doctor for a couple minutes.
My parents found out after I was born that I have the same name and the same birthday as my great-great-grandfather.
My grandfather is one of the chiefs of one of the islands in Fiji.
My dad's ancestors came from England, and they rode on a ship called the Planter. And when they got to America, they made a city in Connecticut. And now the city in Connecticut is a big city.
My grandpa played music and played songs, and my grandpa really likes songs, really liked music, so he played lots of instruments.
My grandma, her ancestors, they were on the Mayflower and traveled to America.
Yes, when my grandfather was in the Navy, a spacecraft landed in the Atlantic Ocean, and my grandfather, he had to land a plane onto an aircraft carrier, and a helicopter picked him up. A helicopter picked up the astronauts from the spacecraft and put them on the aircraft carrier, and then my grandfather flew. And then the astronaut John Young boarded my grandfather's plane and flew him back to the mainland.
My great-grandfather played the accordion at parties.
My mom has taught me how to play softball.
My parents said about when they were young they catch fish without using tools, but with their hands.
When my dad was adopted, all he would eat were wafer cookies, and so recently when my aunt sent some, my dad would not share any of the cookies, and he ate them all really fast, and so my sister and I didn't get to eat any of them, and I thought that was really greedy.
It's amazing, but it's pretty sad. When I was little, I had a cousin that did not like me. So I went to her house, and when I was on the steps, she pushed me down, and my head cracked. So, yeah, that didn't go well. Yeah, this was in Ethiopia. I was crying, and again, clueless me, so I barely felt it. Yay!